Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this morning's live streaming session. Beyond sense perception is awareness. Beyond sense perception is awareness. There is an outer world. You see through the eyes, you hear through the ears, through the nose you smell, through the skin you touch. You see through the eyes. Eyes is the instrument to bring you the form, the shape that you are seeing. The form, the shape, the color. But there is something beyond that sees. You stand up in front of the mirror, mirror reflects your image. Mirror is the reflecting media. But what does it confirm that this particular image or that is your awareness? Awareness is beyond sense organs, beyond objects, and beyond sense perception. There are 5 senses: the eyes, the ears, nose, throat, skin. Then there are sense objects that you perceive through these sense organs. There are 5 organs of perception and 5 organs of action through which the information goes out when it is processed within. So awareness is beyond senses, the 5 senses, 5 organs of actions, beyond sense objects, and perception and action of these senses. In Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, which is one of the oldest treatises on Tantra, Shiva spoke to Devi, his consort. When vividly aware through some particular sense, keep in awareness. You are in a room. Each room has more than one exit. You can exit out of that room from any of the doors. But when you exit from one door, you reach in a different zone, different space, so on and so forth. You see through the eyes, but you remember you see through the eyes, not by the eyes, not from the eyes. However, one cannot see. Eyes are the device to see you. Just as mirror is the device to reflect all that comes in front of it. You see through the eyes, but the seer that actually sees is hidden behind the eyes. You hear through the ears, but that faculty that really hears is hidden behind. You do not see it. That is invisible. That is formless. Eyes are just an opening, just as here the ears are just an opening, the window through which you hear, you see. But you go on thinking that you see by the eyes. You go on thinking you hear by the ears. And no one ever heard from the eyes. No one has ever seen from the eyes. You hear through the ears, not by the ears. And one who is hearing is behind the ears. One who is seeing is beyond the eyes. Ears are just receptive organ. I am speaking. I have a microphone in front of me that converts my analog sound vibrations into digital sound waves. It travels, reaches to your equipment, and your equipment's device converts the digital into analog, and it reaches your ears. Ears are just receptive instrument. All sense organs are simply receptive instruments. These are receptors because these receive the message or the stimuli, whatever form it may be. I give you a loving touch, a hand clasp. The hand is not touching you, instead I am touching you. Through the hand. Hand is just a medium, an instrument. Thus there can be two types of touch. When I really touch you and when I avoid the touch. I can touch your hand and avoid the touch. You may not feel the warmth. You may not be there present in my hand. I may have withdrawn my essence from that. Try this and you will have a different, distant feeling. Put your hand on someone's and withdraw yourself. A dead hand is there, not you. And if the other is sensitive, he or she will feel that this is cold, it is dead. Sometimes we feel that the touch of the person is cold. It's not really a touch. He will feel insulted because of this cold touch. You are deceiving. You are just showing that you are touching, and you are not touching indeed because you are not available. Women are very sensitive about it. You cannot deceive them. They have a greater sensitivity of touch, of body touch, so they know. The husband may be talking beautiful things. He may have brought beautiful flowers and may be saying that I love you. All these things are there, but the touch shows that he is not available at that moment. And women have an instinctive feeling when you are with them and when you are not with them. It is difficult to deceive them unless you are awakened, unless you are a master. Unless you are a master of your own self, you cannot deceive them. But a master would not like to become a husband That is the difficulty. Whenever you say, whatever you say will be false, your touch will show it. Children are very sensitive too. You cannot deceive them. You may pat them, but they know that this is the dead pat or this is alive. If your hand is not flowing, the energy is not flowing through you, through your hand, a loving energy, it is a dead touch. They know it. Then it is just a dead thing being used. When you are present in your hand, in your totality, when you have moved, when your center of the being, the energy is flowing through your hand, when your soul is there, then the touch is of a different quality. The sutra says that senses, the sense perception, or the organs of action are simply the doors. They are receiving mechanisms, mediums, instruments, or transmitting instruments. But there is something hidden beyond this. And that which is hidden beyond this is awareness. When vividly aware through some particular sense, keep in awareness. When you are hearing music, do not forget yourself in the ears. That is why it is said that there is an outer faculty of hearing. There is something which Hindus have called it the God of hearing. They give it a little more elaborate explanation. While hearing music, do not forget yourself in the ears, and do not lose yourself into the ears. Remember, the awareness that is hidden behind is the one that is actually listening to it. Be alert. While you are seeing someone, remember this as well, that you are seeing through the window of the eyes, but it is something else that is seen. When you see, the image is formed, the image is sent back, just as the camera does. Camera lens captures the image and sends it back for your confirmation, whether it is blurred, whether it is good, or whatever it is like. That mechanism, through the camera, you understand it very well. In the same way, but this does not happen when you are using the camera of the eyes to see, to form the image. While you are seeing someone, remember this as well, then slowly and slowly you become aware, and you will not lose this essence, the faculty that operates behind the sense perception, the organs of perception. You can try it right now. You are listening to me. And even when you are reading this, feel you are indeed listening to me. Feel what is happening. You can try it now, listening to me. And even when you are reading anything, feel that you are indeed listening to me. That is why sometimes it is good meditation to read it loud. When you are reading it loud, you get a more intense You get into it more intensely. You can look at someone by the eyes, and when I say by the eyes, it means you are not aware that you are hidden behind the eyes, that there is something hidden behind the eyes that is what is seen. You can look at someone through the eyes, and when I say through the eyes, then the eyes are just between you and me. You are standing there behind the eyes, the awareness is there. Looking through the eyes, just as if someone looks through the window or the glasses. Have you ever seen some clerk in the office looking above his glasses? The glasses has slipped down on his nose and he looks, just look that way at someone, as if you are looking from above the eyes, as if eyes have slipped down a little on your nose and you are standing behind looking at the person. Suddenly you will feel a change in the quality. I repeat it. Have you ever seen a person walking in the office looking above the glasses? The glasses have slipped down on his nose and he looks. Just look that way at anyone, and if you are looking from above the eyes, as if eyes have slipped down a little bit onto your nose and you are standing behind looking at the person, suddenly you will find that the quality has changed. Eyes have become just the door. And if you continue, this is the state of meditation. This becomes a meditation. When hearing, just hear through the ears and remain aware of your inner center, the hearing power. That is why Hindus have a prayer. Bhadram karnebhi shrunuyam deva, Bhadram pashyame aksharabi yajatra. May I hear through the ears that which is to be heard. Sometimes, normally what we hear, what we want to hear, not that which is to be heard. We see what we need to see, not what is to be seen. There is a vast difference between what you see and what need to be seen. When touching, touch through the hand and remember the inner one who is hidden behind the touch. From any sense organ, you can get the feeling of the inner center. From any door, you can exit out of this room. You can, sometimes it happens because of certain deformity or anything, a certain faculty becomes prominent in an individual. Those who are blind, their sense of hearing becomes prominent, gets accentuated, or their throat singing capacity is accentuated. Through any of this window, the sense perception, organ of perception, you can become aware of that which is behind these. Behind the eyes, behind the ears, behind the nose, behind the touch, everywhere there is awareness. Your organs of perception are the instruments to report, like a salesperson who brings the information, the market intelligence from outside, and it is brought to the table where it is processed. That managing director processes the information and based on that prepares the new strategies. It is the awareness which is the master, which is the managing director, that processes all the information that comes into on the table. It is processed there, and then decision is made. It has to report. That is why when you are seeing me and you are hearing me, the eyes form the stimuli, brings the form stimuli. The ears bring the hearing stimuli, which is in decibels. When you see me through the eyes and you hear me through the ears, deep down within you know that you are seeing the same person who you are hearing. There is someone that knows the form, the coordination between the form and the voice. It is the voice of the same person who is on the screen. If I have some body odor, your nose will smell it. Or if there is any nice fragrance, your nose will smell it. Then 3 different sense organs send their report. 3 different, like a company has different salesmen walking in different directions. North, south, east, west. The one that brings the information from north is dealing with the customers that are of a different zone. Each one walks in a different zone, just like sense perceptions. Eyes walk in the zone of form. Ears walk in the zone of sound. The nose walks in the zone of smell. They bring their individual informations. That is why you can, and they bring the information to one center. That is why you can coordinate, otherwise it is very difficult. If your eyes see and your ears hear, it will be difficult to know whether you are hearing the same person whom you are seeing. But the information by the 2 sense organs or the sales representative of consciousness bring the information to the central table, to the conference room, which is the meditation room. Conference room is nothing else but simply a meditation room where all the information is pondered upon and then a decision is made. Because these 2 senses are different and they never meet. Eyes have never met the ears. The salesmen walk, maybe the salesmen are not meeting one another because they live in the different areas and walk in different areas. And when this south salesman comes, the north is still walking. And when the north brings the information, the east one is still in his field. They bring their reports and the reports is forwarded to the managing director who coordinates the report of all the sense organs. So awareness is your managing director who processes the reports sent by different organs of perception. Your eyes have never met your ears, and your ears have never heard about your eyes. They do not know each other. They may have never met. They have not been introduced to one another. That is the reason from time to time we have the meeting of the sales representatives. So they get used to one another. But in the inner world it is something different. The different organs of perception work in their own individual way, unique way that they are established for a particular purpose. They bring the information to the central conference room where it is processed. So, how does everything become synthetic? Or synthesis happens. Ears hear, eyes see, hands touch, nose smell, and suddenly somewhere inside you know that there is same man that you are hearing, seeing, touching and smelling. This knower is different, is not the sense organ. It is different. Every sense organ reports to this knower, to the managing director. In the business organization, each report is forwarded to the managing director via his secretary. This knower is different from the senses. Every sense reports his information to the knower, and in this knower, in the center, everything falls, fits, and becomes one. This is miraculous. I am one, and outside you, I am one. My hand and body's presence, my body's order, my speaking are one. Your senses will divide me. I am one. But outside you, I am one, my body and the body's presence, my body's order, my speaking, all are one. Your senses, different salesmen will divide it. Your ears will report if I say something, only if I say something. Your nose will report only if there is any kind of smell. Your eyes will report if I can be seen or I am visible. They will divide me into parts. The form, the smell, the sound. But again, first it is divided in that way. I am outside you, you are seeing me. Your eyes bring the form, ears bring the sound vibrations, and nose bring this smell. This is how it comes in. When it comes to the conference table in the central room, in the state of meditation, it is processed again and a coordination is established between the report, 3 different reports, and when final conclusion comes, again somewhere within you I will become one. When I become one within you, it is where I become one within you. The form, the touch, the smell becomes one as synergy. That is your center of being. That is the central conference room. That is your awareness, and you have forgotten it completely. The conference room is not available to everyone. It opens not always. This is your awareness, and you have forgotten it completely. This forgetfulness is ignorance, and awareness will open the door of self-knowledge. And you cannot know yourself in any other way. When vividly aware through any sense, any particular sense organ, keep it in awareness. Remain with that awareness. Keep in awareness. Remain alert. It is difficult in the beginning. You may forget it again and again. We go on falling asleep. You are doing something. You fall asleep. Take a nap. Then you wake up. You again fall into a nap. And it seems arduous to look through the eyes. It is easy to look by the eyes. Looking through the eyes. Looking through the mirror. In the beginning you feel a certain restraint. That is what it is called thought meditation. Gazing through the mirror. If you try to look through the eyes, not only will you feel a strain, the person you look at will also feel a strain. That is why we say, why are you gazing at me? Why are you staring at me? The person may be staring for a different reason, but you begin to feel a little uncomfortable. If you look at someone through the eyes, he will feel you are trespassing upon him, you are trespassing upon his privacy, as if you are doing something unmannerly. That is what staring is. You are trespassing the freedom of that individual. If you look through the eyes, the other will become aware suddenly that you are not behaving properly, because your look will become piercing. Your look goes deeper. If it comes through your depth, it will penetrate to the depth of the other. That is why society has a built-in security. It says, do not look too deeply into someone unless you are in love. If you are in love, you can look deeply into the other. You can penetrate to the very depth, because the other is not afraid. The other can be naked, totally naked. The other can be vulnerable. The other can be open to you. But ordinarily, if you are not in love, you are not allowed to see directly, to see penetratingly. First try with object. Look at a flower deeply, a tree deeply, the stars in the night. They will not feel trespassed, and they will not object. Rather, they will like it and they will feel good and appreciated. First try with them. Then with loving persons, your wife, your child. Sometimes take your child into your lap and look at him through the eyes. The child will understand. He will understand more than someone else because he is still uncrippled by this society, is still unperverted, is still natural. He will feel deep love if you look through the eyes. He will feel your presence every moment. Look at your lover or your beloved, and then only by and by you will get the feel of it. And as you become more and more artful about it, you will be able to look at anyone else, because then no one will be able to know that someone has looked so deeply. And once you have this art of standing always alert behind the senses, the sense cannot deceive you. Once you learn this art of standing always alert, full of awareness, behind the senses, the awareness is operating behind the senses. The sense cannot deceive you, otherwise sense go on deceiving you. In a world which is just an appearance, they have deceived you to feel it as real. If you can look through the senses and remain alert, the world will by and by appear to you to be illusory, dreamlike, and you will be able to penetrate to the substance, the very substance of it. And that substance in Hindu mythology is called Brahman, the consciousness, the ever-expanding consciousness. In a world which is just a perception, they appear to you to be real. If you can look through this, any sense organ, and remain alert, the awareness continues to operate behind it, then the world will appear to you to be the illusion. Only then, dreamlike, and you will be able to penetrate to the substance, to the very substance of it, which is your consciousness, which is awareness, which is Brahman, which is that formless that you can call God or by any names. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.